Let's talk about the election and individual freedom. I think that adults ought to be able to eat, drink, or smoke anything you want. Who owns your body, after all? You or the state? If you don't injure somebody else, you ought to be able to ingest anything. Smoke crack. But obviously this is a minority position. Even legal marijuana isn't supported by most people. And that brings us to California's Prop 19, which would have legalized marijuana there. 2 weeks ago, the betting at intrade.com, which has been the most reliable predictor of political events, said there was a 60% chance that Prop 19 would pass. That day, I appeared in the O'Reilly Factor. Pollster Scott Rasmussen and Bill had just declared that the proposition was going to lose, and when I came on, Bill surprised me by daring me to bet that it would pass.
You want pot, and it's going to lose in California, as you just heard Rasmussen and I, and two brilliant men.
You say,
yeah.
But I think
you want to make a little bet on this?
Sure, $10. No,
$10. Right. And here he is, Mr.
$10,000 to a charity of the other person's choice.
Now you're talking.
And now I'm out $10,000. Prop 19 lost 54 to 46%. Here to gloat about that, actually I'm in his studio, is Bill O'Reilly. So, go ahead.
No gloating zone, just like the no spin zone. But I want you to acknowledge, in front of the many millions of people watching the Stossel program on the Fox Business Channel, that I am in touch with the folks, and you aren't.
Yeah, how did you know it was going to lose?
Because it's basically, when it comes right down to it, Americans are center right. Even in California, crazy state, but even there, people go, you know, do I really want to open up a more permissive society? Do I really want to do that? And the answer is they don't.
All right, well, let's talk about that. And I agree with you. It would be a more permissive society. Some people would try marijuana. Some people would get into trouble.
Right.
But compare that to what the black market does.
Well, let me give you this analysis, and then you can rebut. I've researched this deal, okay? I researched it for a thesis I did at Harvard when I was at the Kennedy School, and I've researched it lately with CASA, Joe Califano's group.
Who's a zealot against drugs.
He's a zealot against drugs. But he's got data that's in stone that says the rehab costs that a legalization of any drug would lead to at 9 times as much as the tax revenue that would come in. Because most people on rehab don't pay for their rehab. The state does. And the second thing is the medical marijuana experiment. As you may know, in California, in San Francisco, they opened up all these clinics. And what did they find in these clinics? Number one, the neighborhoods got ruined because all the potheads got their headache and went in and got all the pot, and then they went out on the stoop and smoked it.
Okay, that can happen. But look at the direct consequences of the law. There's the crime, all the shootings, all the horrible stuff going on in Mexico. There are no beer gangs, no wine gangs. The drug dealers know that police won't protect their private property, so they arm themselves and form gangs. Nobody's knocking over 7-Elevens.
We can knock the market out and take the profit away from the gangs without legalization. You can do that.
How?
By forced rehab, by forcing people who are involved with the system. Say you get arrested, you have drugs in your bloodstream, as 75% of criminals do. Okay. They have to go to rehab. Bang. And then they do their sentence on top of it. So you take the market away. But listen to this, and this is really a stunning stat. What's the matter?
Take the market away. I mean,
there's nobody to buy.
That's going to cure. You're going to catch all of them, and you're going to cure all of them.
No. They did this in Singapore. They basically took every drug user off the street and put them into forced rehab for 21 months.
Well, Singapore is a police state.
That's
you
right.
Chew gum in Singapore without
guess
prescription.
What? There's no drug problem in Singapore, okay?
You want that for America?
I don't, but you can do a modification of it. And the second thing is child abuse. 70% of all the child abuse done in the United States is done by people who are intoxicated by either drugs or alcohol.
Mostly alcohol.
Well, what's going to happen?
Your guy says it is alcohol.
It's not mostly alcohol. It's about divided evenly. And if you legalize, you're going to have that child abuse stat go even higher.
Let me approach it from another direction. Who owns your body? I mean, I assume you like to have a drink, get a little buzz.
No, I don't drink or smoke.
Should alcohol be outlawed?
No, because
people
you
do horrible things under alcohol.
They do, but you can drink alcohol without being inebriated. You can have a beer, a glass of wine, and you're not buzzed.
But people get buzzed.
They do, but they abuse it. With drugs, the intent is to get buzzed. So there's a difference between alcohol and drugs. Secondly, yeah, you own your body. It's your body. But there's a public safety issue. The public safety issue trumps what you want to do. Why do you think suicide is illegal? Okay, suicide is illegal because if you commit suicide, you leave a family All right, who's going to support the family? There's things you can't do for public safety reasons.
Well, suicide's a good example because how effective is that law? I mean, people
Doesn't matter
commit
how
suicide.
effective
People
it's not.
use these
You
drugs.
can always break the law, Stossel.
And
Always.
all the drug use, it's illegal now, and you have all these problems with it being illegal.
Based upon my time in Switzerland, when they tried to legalize heroin, and the whole city of Zurich became a zombie capital, all right?
But that
in
was,
Amsterdam,
again, one tiny place where everybody came. How
In
about
Amsterdam?
Portugal, the whole country?
I
they've
haven't been to
legalized it.
Portugal lately, but I might go over and take a look. I have an open mind on this, but I
No,
think
you don't.
Yes, I do. But I don't think that the evidence shows that legalization will solve the problem as much as cause more problems.
All right, well, I'll get the last word then, since it's my show. Portugal decriminalized all drugs, no increase in crime or addiction. Drug deaths decreased by 28%, and 16% of kids in Portugal have smoked pot versus 38% of American teens.
Mm-hmm.
So I think more would try it, but
Well,
people
Portugal is a different
normalize it.
society than, it's a very rural society there. There's a lot of people like farming, so I'm not sure that we can make a comparison. But listen, I've been to Portugal in a while. Maybe I'll go over and check it out.
Go check it out. Well, thank you. This is going to make your career. You're being in my
Of course,
program.
any association with you makes my career.
There it goes. Up next, the bettors on Intrade had it wrong about Prop 19 2 weeks ago, right before I bet him. But soon after we made the $10,000 bet, their Intrade predictions had switched, and I knew I was toast. When it comes to predicting the future, nothing has been as reliable as the prediction markets like Intrade. But we in America have made Intrade illegal. It's the Republicans' fault. I'll explain when we come back.